So good morning once again. I'd like to present first the solution to the statement of cash flows. Now take note guys that I requested you to do this as your assignment, but it will not be collected. But I hope you did it. I'm just going to present to you the solution, and I will not post this guys because if I post this, that means that I'm depriving you of the opportunity to do this on your own. Okay, so kindly just refer to. I hope you did this, guys. So I'll be entertaining some questions, a few minute questions, guys, for just a few minutes kasi may i-discuss pa tayo, no? So for the statement of cash flow, sabi natin we're investigating the increase in cash. Kasi for 2019 it was 7,282, for 2020 it's 14,000. So there was an increase in cash of 6,718. Okay, so if we go to the working paper, you should be getting 6,718 here. Okay, total operating, it's a use of funds 170,536. For investing, it's a use of funds also 17,050. And then for financing, it's a source of fund 194,304. Okay, so I'm getting the same net cash increase. Okay, then this is my statement, statement of cash flows. Okay, 170,536, 17,050 for investing. And then for financing, okay, it's 194,304. Adding everything, we have 6,718. Cash balance of January 1, 7,282. So cash balance ending is 14,000. Okay, to get the investment in fixed assets, since fixed assets is given in net, no? Net fixed assets, so you will have to compute for the acquisition. And this is what we get, guys, no? For the acquisition, I used GoSeek here in order to determine how much was the acquisition in fixed assets. Okay, and then this is the statement of retained earnings here. Okay, how much was retained earnings at the beginning of the year? So let me flash this. Retained earnings at the beginning of the year was 97,632, and at the end of the year it was 296,216. Okay, so there are only two accounts here that affect retained earnings. It's net income and the dividends. Okay, so 97,632, net income 253,584. That's from above, from the income statement. 253, this one, that's our net income. Okay, and then we subtract the dividends, 55,000, to get retained earnings of 296,216. Okay, so that takes care of the statement of cash flows and the statement of retained earnings. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Okay, please take note, guys. As I mentioned, I will not be posting this. I want you to do this on your own kasi pang practice na lang din yan para sa exam sa Monday. Okay, I hope you did it, guys, kasi the question should be coming from any difference in how we constructed our statement of cash flows. Okay, no questions, guys? If no questions, then that means that you were able to correctly construct your statement of cash flows, or you didn't do it, no? Kasi hindi ka makakapagtanong kung hindi yung ginawa, no? So I hope it's the former and not the latter. Sana nagawa nyo, okay? And sana you tried doing it. So this is the time, guys, if you try doing it and then you're getting different values, okay, this is the time for you to ask kung bakit yung values nyo at saka yung values ko magkaiba. But yung increase in cash should be 6,718. Increase in cash dito 6,718, no? Sa ano natin, sa balance sheet. As I said, guys, I'll only be entertaining questions if you tried to do it, no? So ibig sabihin, you attempted tapos may discrepancy tayo, then I'll clarify questions like that, no? But for me, just to give you the answer for this one, without you even attempting to do it. I will, guys, I won't do that because that I'll be depriving you of the opportunity to enhance your skills here in preparation for your long exams on Monday. Okay, are there any questions? Any questions dito sa proforma? Any questions? Kasi pag gawa nyo naman yung proforma, madali na i-formalize yung statement of cash flows. Okay, so no questions, guys. So let me go to the measures dito. No? So sa NOWC for 2018-2019, we're just using here the formula operating current assets minus operating current liabilities. So isang formula lang yan, tapos ika-copy to the right natin. So ano ba yung operating current assets natin? Take a look at this. Operating current assets natin, cash, AR, and inventories. No, hindi kasama si short-term investments, minus operating current liabilities that include accounts payable and accruals. It's excluding your notes payable. Okay, so that's the formula. Copy to the right lang yan, no? Yung formula na yan. Tapos TOC, we just added yung net fixed assets to NOWC. Okay, so we just added NOWC plus the net fixed assets. Okay, if you base it, guys, on the worksheet that we were using before, okay, you'll be easily able to compute for this. Okay, straightforward naman tong pag-compute ng NOWC at saka TOC. Tapos yung net investment, guys, will be TOC, the difference between TOC of 2 years, no? So wala tayong net investment in TOC for 2018 kasi wala tayong 2017 figure. So you just get this by 2019 and end of the year minus the beginning of the year. Okay, so this is the net investment in TOC. Again, guys, kailangan natin to in order to compute for free cash flow. And then NOPAT, guys, ang shortcut formula natin yan, di ba, will be your EBIT. My EBIT here is C10. Okay, EBIT is yan, EBIT. And then times times 1 minus tax rate. Okay, so meron ba tayong tax rate dito? Okay, may tax rate tayo. If I click this, oops, ba't ando dun siya? Parang mali yata to. Bigyan ko dito ng 40%. No? Okay. Although may tax rate na dito. Anyway, I just place your tax rate. No? So your NOPAT is your EBIT times 1 minus your tax rate there. Okay, so yan ang NOPAT natin. I just copy this to the right. Okay, then your free cash flow, again, guys, your free cash flow is simply ano formula ng free cash flow? It's your NOPAT minus the net investment in TOC. Okay. So your free cash flow is NOPAT minus net investment in TOC. So just copy the formula. Okay, so you notice here, guys, that the free cash flow is negative. Ibig sabihin, well, in a sense, walang available na cash for distribution to investors. Now, is a negative free cash flow good or bad? Depende guys sa answer, no? If the negative free cash flow is born out of the high investment in TOC, okay lang yun, no? Okay, kasi ibig sabihin, nag-i-invest operating capital. Okay, so in this case, malaki yung net investment in TOC natin. Tapos maliit, hindi ganun kalaki yung NOPAT natin. So that results into a free cash flow na negative. So a free cash flow that's negative should be analyzed carefully, no? Kasi it doesn't mean na kapag negative yung free cash flow, ibig sabihin palpak na yung operations. No, it doesn't mean like that. Kasi ano ba yung formula ng free cash flow? Di ba ang formula ng free cash flow? So sulat ko lang, ha. Okay, so hindi ko pa yata na-highlight tong digital pen ko. Okay. Free cash flow, guys. Formula for free cash flow is equal to your NOPAT less your investment in TOC. Okay. So dalawang panggagalingan ng free cash flow, di ba? Okay. Pwedeng okay yung NOPAT natin and then mataas yung investment in TOC, which is good, guys. So pwede maging negative yung free cash flow if the reason is due to the high investment in operating capital. That's good. Okay. But if the free cash flow is negative due to a low NOPAT, then that's bad. No? Okay, so dalawang titingnan natin dito. No? So we have to look at the figures. Okay. NOPAT natin for 2019 it's quite low, no? For 2020 it's a lot higher than 301 as compared to 10464. So we can say here that yung negative na free cash flow natin for 2019 was born out of a lower NOPAT compared to 2020. Okay? So we could say that the negative free cash flow for 2019 was relatively not good, no? Kasi it's born out of a lower NOPAT compared to 2020. Okay. Ito, negative pa rin yung 2020, but it's lower than, less negative siya kaysa dun sa 2019. Okay, then we computed here for ROIC. Anong formula ng ROIC? Ba? Ang formula for ROIC is just your NOPAT. Okay, it's your NOPAT divided by the total operating capital at the beginning. So the ROIC for 2019 is simply the NOPAT for 2019 divided by the beginning capital, which is 1,138,600. Okay, and then it turns out that our ROIC here is 0.92, which is lower than the weighted average cost of capital of 10%. So here, value was destroyed, no? Okay, value was destroyed for 2019. However, for 2020, okay, paano yung ROIC natin? It's the NOPAT divided by the total operating capital, beginning capital, which is 2257632. So it churns out a 13.36 ROIC, which is higher than the WACC of 10%. Okay, so for 2019, value was destroyed. For 2020, value was created. Okay, and MBA naman, guys. Ano yung formula ng MBA? We compute for the market capitalization. What's market capitalization? We compute for magkano ba yung price niya? Okay, I think nagkamali ako dito. No? It should be the stock price. D40. So this is wrong. I'm sorry. This should be the stock price, okay, times the number of shares minus the book value. So saan natin kukunin yung book value ng equity? Ito siya. Total equity dito. Okay, so you're comparing the market capitalization with the book value. So it turns out MBA is 42,368. Yeah, okay. So we have, okay, yung market value added natin. Okay, it's the excess of the market price of equity, the market capitalization with the book value. Ito yung book value natin, no? This one. Ito yung book value natin. Ang market capitalization natin will be the price times the number of shares. Okay. And lastly, guys, the EVA, economic value added. So there are two ways to compute for this. Okay. First one is using ROIC and second one is using NOPAT. Ang ginamit natin dati yung NOPAT. No? Okay, so let me illustrate that. Paano kino-compute yung EVA using ROIC? Okay, again, ang kwento nito, guys, magkano ba yung capital na binigay sa atin at the beginning? Okay, so if you take a look at this formula, sulat natin. So this one is how much was capital at the beginning? TOC beginning. Okay? And then sa capital na binigay, kumita tayo, no? Kumita tayo ng magkano? ROIC. Okay? And then ibabawas natin yung cost ng paggamit ng capital. So that's the formula for EVA if we're going to use the ROIC method, no? Ine-net natin yung ROIC minus the WACC and multiply it with the total operating capital at the beginning. Yung NOPAT naman, di ba? Ang formula niyan, NOPAT. Tapos sa NOPAT, ima-minus natin yung capital charge, which is the product of your TOC beginning times the weighted average cost of capital. Okay. So these are the two formulas that you can use for EVA. Again, they tell a story, ano? So dito sa formula na to, sa una, ang sinasabi natin dito, okay, binigyan tayo ng capital to use. Okay, ano nangyari sa capital na yon? Nag-earn tayo ng ROIC, kaso ibabawas natin yung cost of the capital, no? Okay, so if you take a look at this formula, ito. Notice, so C49, that's the operating capital at the beginning. And then we subtract, magkano yung ROIC natin? 0.92. Magkano yung cost ng capital? 10%. Okay, that's why if we perform this, we get negative, no? Ibig sabihin, value was destroyed kasi negative yung economic value added natin, which is consistent with the ROIC. Diba? Sabi natin, if the ROIC turns out to destroy value, ganun din yung makukuha natin sa EVA, economic value added. Here, ROIC is 0.92. It's way less than the weighted average cost of capital of 10%. So value was destroyed, and that can be seen in your EVA. No? So ganun din dito, guys, 2020, how much was beginning capital? Okay, how much was ROIC minus the WACC? So this would be positive kasi mas mataas yung ROIC natin over the weighted average cost of capital. Okay, and it will give us the same, it will give the same answer, guys, here. Diba, ito yung ginamit natin last time. Magkano ba yung capital na pinrovide sa atin? Ito. Okay, wait. Capital, magkano yung NOPAT na na-earn, no? Sorry, E51 is NOPAT, then minus, ito yung ano, capital charge, no? Yung capital at the beginning of the year times the cost of capital, which is this one. Okay, this is the formula that we used last time. Okay, I'm just adding this other formula in order to compute for the weighted, for the EVA, okay? So notice that they're the same, no? Pareho lang yung ano nila, yung result nila. Whether we use the ROIC method dito or we use the NOPAT method. Okay? In both instances, ginagamit yung TOC beginning at saka yung weighted average cost of capital. Ang kaibahan nila, ito ginamit si ROIC, ito ginamit si NOPAT. Okay. Any questions, guys? Okay, Sarah, ito na, no? Na-answer ko na yung question ni Sarah, no? How do we get the EVA using the ROIC? Okay, so let me repeat my answer here. Okay, using the ROIC, guys, ito yung formula natin. You use first the beginning capital and then you net the ROIC to the WACC. Notice, guys, pag yung ROIC mas mababa sa WACC, you'll get a negative answer here. And that means value was destroyed. That's why consistent lagi yung answer sa ROIC at saka sa EVA. They both will tell us if value was created or value was destroyed. Okay? All right. Any questions, guys? Any questions? No questions? Okay. Clear ba so far? Clear ba? Paki-chat naman, guys, kung yes or no, kung clear ba yung mga formulas na to. Okay. Anyway, guys, may recording tayo nito, no? So please follow along, no? Ang suggestion ko, Kasi hindi naman minsan hindi sa isang sitting nakukuha. So as for your review also, i-view nyo ulit tapos sundan nyo. Okay, makikita, andyan naman yung answer, makikita nyo. No? Although hindi ko binigay guys yung answer sa inyo, it's not meant to not to share it with you. No, that's the last thing that I would reason. I would have that reason. It's because I would like to encourage you to do it on your own. Yun ang practice nyo. No? I don't want to deprive you of that opportunity to do this on your own. And kasi iba talaga yung natututunan nyo pag kayo yung gumagawa. Kasi nakikinig lang kayo. Hands-on really is the best way to learn it. Okay, so clear na? Isa lang yung nag-chat kung clear ba tayo so far. I have the feedback, responses from the others. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, salamat guys ha. Yung iba, okay, sana yung iba mag-respond. Apat pa lang nagre-respond, 5. Okay. 5 lang guys, 5 lang yung students natin dito. Okay, 28 tayo lahat. Yan. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, walang questions na guys. Walang questions. Sana naintindihan ha. Sana naintindihan lahat yung natin, discussion natin. Okay, so let's now go to the yung natin, yung what we were working on last time. Okay. So we did the vertical and horizontal analysis, no? Okay. Okay, siguro i-discuss ko later on itong yung negative na lumalabas dito kasi nagkakaproblema tayo guys pag may negative. So let me just present to you a worksheet that I did. No? Okay, can you see the worksheet? Ito i-share ko na lang sa inyo guys, no? Can you see the worksheet? Paki-chat nga kung yes or no. Ito. Guys, kita ba natin yung worksheet? Okay, thank you. All right. Ito I'm just going to share, I'm going to upload this para makita nyo guys, may problema tayo kapag may negative. Okay, take a look at this. Kunyari, these are the items, no, that are being sold. Tapos yung profit niya last year, yung old natin, no, was a loss of 10. Mga losses lahat siya. Tapos ito for this year, mga net profit, no? Net loss and net profit. Okay. If we take the change, okay, so new minus old, ito 'yon, no? New minus old. Okay, we have this. So makikita natin guys yung pinakamalaking change dito sa cakes, no? Kasi from -60 up to 50. So a total of 110 yung tinalo niya, diba? Ito naman from -10 to 50, 60 lang yung change niyan. So you might be thinking, okay, dahil tanggalin ko muna to ha. Okay. Based on the change guys, sino kaya dapat yung mas pinakamalaking Sino yung pinakamalaking dapat? Sino yung pinakamalaking change, percentage change? Okay. Without looking at the answer guys, sino dapat yung pinakamalaking change? Among this, si coffee, si tea, si cookies, si bagels, or si cakes? If we take a look at the percentage change, sino dapat yung may pinakamalaking change? Okay, yeah. It turns out na parang cakes, Okay, parang cakes. So sabi natin, di ba last time sabi ko na kapag negative yung yung old, ang ginagawa natin absolute. Okay? Kasi ito, a negative yung old tapos 50 yung yung change. If we just use the okay, let me once again kung gagamitin lang natin guys yung yung formula natin na the new over the old minus 1. Okay? So sabi natin mali ito, no? This is wrong kasi bakit negative yung percentage change? Di ba nag-increase yan? Di ba? From negative 10 naging 50. So dapat, ang ibig sabihin kasi ng negative, di ba? Bumaba yung value. But this one, it did not decrease, guys. It increased, in fact. So we said that to change this formula, ginagawa natin na, okay, what do we do with this one, guys? Ginagawa natin na absolute value yung ano, no? Ginagawa natin yung absolute value yung ano, yung denominator. Oops, mali. Sorry, ha? Okay. Ito ang ginawa niya. Okay. So ito ang ginawa dito, guys, yung ano, yung old formula, no? Yung C4 minus B4 divided by B4. Okay? Pero ginagawa natin absolute value to in order to correct the sign. Okay. So ito, tama na to kasi nag-increase na siya. Nag-increase na. Ibig sabihin, positive na to. Percentage change natin is already positive. However, kung titingnan natin, guys, yung percentage change, parang may mali yata na mas malaki yung change ni cakes kaysa kay coffee. Pero bakit mas malaking percentage change ni coffee, no? So there seems to be parang may conceptually parang may mali, no? Kasi dito ang laki ng change, 110, di ba? Tapos ito 60 lang. Tapos pare-pareho naman yung ano niya, new value. Diba? So you'll be thinking dapat mas malaking percentage change ng cake. Diba? Kasi ang laki ng jump niya, Pare-pareho lang naman yung new values, no? Okay, so that's an issue, guys, with respect to percentage change as far as pag may negative, no? Negative sa old. Dito naman, negative sa new. Okay, may ano din dito, may problem din dito, no? So I'm going to share this with you, okay? Ipapakita ko yung isang formula dito which could address that. Okay? So anyway, guys, this is just additional information. Just be aware, guys, na kapag may yung ano natin, yung horizontal analysis natin, yung getting the percentage change between the new and the old value, may mga issues doon, especially pag may negative. Dito, negative yung denominator. Dito, negative naman yung numerator. No? Ito, reverse natin. Yung new, okay, lahat siya negative 10. Okay? So, ito yung old natin, ito yung new. If we get the difference between the old and the new, ito malaki yung ano niya, di ba? Malaki yung pinagbago from positive 100 to negative 10. So 110 yung ano, yung decrease. Pero kung titingnan natin dito sa percentage change, mas malaki yung decrease ng coffee. 60 lang naman yung binaba niya, no? Ito 110 yung binaba niya. Okay, I hope you get the concept, guys. So nagkakaroon tayo ng problema dito. Conceptually, guys, tama naman yung formula. Kaso nga lang, di ba? Parang it doesn't make sense na ito ang binaba niya 60, ito ang binaba niya 110, pero mas mababa yung percentage change nitong bumaba ng 110. No? So that's the issue here. Pag may negative, whether dun sa old or dun sa new. Okay? So I'll just post this, guys. Let's just be aware na may ganyang klaseng challenge dito, no? So yung iba nga, pag may negative, ang ginagawa nila, binablanko na lang percentage change, no? So I've seen some worksheets like that, na kapag may negative, naglalagay sila ng blank dyan. Hindi na nila linalagyan ng ano ng percentage change kasi nga may ano, naglalagay na lang sila ng P kung positive o L kung less, no? Ibig sabihin bumaba yung percentage change. All right? Okay, so this is just additional information, guys, for us to be aware na kapag may mga negative na values, Lalo for example sa sa income statement. Kasi pwede mag-negative yung income statement. For example, EBIT, pwede maging negative yan. So yung EBT, pwede maging negative. Yung net income, pwede maging negative yan. So pag may mga ganun negative, tapos we're getting the horizontal analysis, yung percentage change, then that could pose a problem. So I just want us to be aware yung ganung situation. Okay? All right, so let's go here, guys. Let's go deep here to our ratios. Okay, so it's a challenge for us na matapos to, no? Okay, so yung ratios natin, 5 klase yan, no? 5 broad types. So ano siya? Number 1, liquidity. Okay, isulat ko na lang. L here stands for liquidity. Appends, review. Okay, so first we have liquidity. Okay, so what's liquidity? It tells us of the ability of the firm to pay its current obligations as they fall due. Pag sinabing liquid, kaya bang magbayad ng company ng mga due nila, mga current obligations, guys? And there are 2 types of liquidity here. We have current ratio and quick ratio. Okay, tanong ko lang, guys, very quick question. Did you have a chance to discuss this in your accounting subject, itong mga ratios na to? Asset management, debt ratio, profitability ratios. Paki-chat nga, guys, kung nagkaroon na kayo ng opportunity na i-discuss itong mga ratios na to sa accounting subject, no? Have you, guys? Hello? Not yet. Okay, thank you, Erin. Okay. Confirm ba ng iba yung guys? The rest, guys? Not yet. Okay, sige. Okay, so mukhang hindi kayo familiar, so ibig sabihin mukhang hindi nyo pa na-discuss to. Okay, so again, guys, 5 broad types of ratios tayo. Liquidity, and then we also have next is AM is asset management. No? Asset management. How do we manage the assets of the firm? And then we have DR is debt ratio. And then we have PR, that's profitability ratios. Profitability ratio. And then MV is market value ratios. Okay, mga ratios yan, guys. No? All right. So ito yung 5 types, guys, ng ratios na titingnan natin. And what are ratios for? What are ratios for? Ratios are used in order to assess the performance of the firm, okay, using benchmark. Remember yung napag-usapan natin, di ba? Sabi natin, importante, katulad nung diniscuss natin yung NOPAT, sabi natin it's wrong to just compare the NOPAT, no? As a figure in itself. Sabi natin, di ba yung example natin dati, si company A may NOPAT na 59,000, si company B may NOPAT na 1 million. So mas magaling ba si company B kaysa si company A? No. We just don't look at it from a single metric, no? Single value. Kasi di ba ang ginawa natin, dinivide natin yung TOC yun to get the ROIC. So yun, pwede na nating ma-compare siya kasi you're now looking at the performance based on per peso of TOC. Okay, di ba yung lumabas sa example natin, mas magaling si company A kahit na mas mababa yung NOPAT niya. Okay? Because we didn't just use the NOPAT, we used a ratio, a financial ratio. And that ratio is ROIC. And we were saying that, I don't know if you recall that example, guys. Sulat ko lang dito for review, no? Sabi natin, just to refresh your memories, no? Si company A, si company B, ito ang NOPAT niya, 59, I think it's like 59,520. So this is our NOPAT. Okay, this naman is 1 million. 1 million yung NOPAT nito. So it's wrong to say that B performed better than company A. What we can say is that the NOPAT of B is greater than company A. Yun, fact talaga yun. Mas malaki yung NOPAT ni B kaysa kay A. Pero If we say that company B performed well than company A, that's a different matter, guys. No? Kasi we do not just take a look at NOPAT in isolation. A better way to analyze the performance of A and B is to use ratios. No? So ang ginawa natin dito, di ba, dinivide natin ito ng TOC beginning. Diba? If I'm not mistaken, 630 to, di ba? 630,000. And then, just to dramatize the example, ginawa natin itong 10 billion. No? 10 billion yung TOC nito. So it turns out that the ROIC, which is NOPAT divided by TOC beginning, ito 9.45%. Ito naman 0.01%. No? Okay. So there guys, okay, ano makikita natin dito? Ang ibig sabihin nito na for every 1 peso of operating capital, ito nakapag-generate ng 9 centavos na operating profit, di ba? Kasi that's what 9.45% means. It means for every 1 peso of operating capital, nakapag-generate ito si company A ng 9.45 centavos ng operating profit. Si B naman guys, for every 1 peso of total operating capital provided to management, it was only able to generate ito lang 0.01 centavos of operating profit. Okay, so sino mas magaling? Conclusion, mas mataas yung NOPAT ni Company B versus Company A. Fact yun. 1 million versus 59,520. But as to the question, did Company B perform better than Company A? No, guys. No? Okay? We just can't take a metric in isolation. Kailangan titingnan natin yan through ratios. No? Okay? So we said that we benchmark, dalawa yung bine-benchmark natin, okay, which we have done already dun last time, guys. Benchmark against time. Okay? Over the years, ano nangyayari, no? Ano nangyayari sa ratios natin? Kaya nga, that's why sa project natin, it's 3 years. Para at least meron tayong horizontal analysis na 2 years, no? Diba kasi ang horizontal analysis, you take the period. So kung ang FS nyo, 2018, 2019, 2020, then you will have 2 periods. No? 2018 to 19, that's 1 period. 2019 to 2020, that's another period. So may dalawang periods tayo na pwedeng i-analyze. So we benchmark against time, and then what's the other one, guys? How do we benchmark? How do we analyze yung performance ng firm? We benchmark against, what's letter C? What's letter C, guys? That's the reason why I asked you to get those sa FS yun. Ano kaya to? Anyone? Anyone would like to guess? Ano ba tong C na to? So we're benchmarking not only against time, which is what we did, guys, nun sa vertical at saka horizontal analysis natin. We also benchmark against, ano to? Guess, anyone? C, O. Any guess? CO, yes, may nag-guess na. Companies, thank you, Aaron. Isa pa, sige pa. Malapit na. Yeah, their companies, yes. Thank you, Ariana. Ariana, paki-share yung answer nyo. Okay, Erin, thank you din, no? So, tama si Ariana, tama si Erin. It's competitors. And thank you, Aaron, for your answer. Okay, of course, guys, yung mga competitors, companies yan. But ang sinasabi natin, companies that are competitors. So, competitors ang bine-benchmark natin. Kaya nga, guys, dalawang FS na pinapanood ko sa inyo. No? Kasi bine-benchmark natin. Ano yung performance nitong company na to relatively against that other company. No? Okay, that's the reason why, guys, dalawa yung companies na pinapatingnan natin. Kasi we need to benchmark against time and against direct competitors to. So hindi natin kino-compare si San Miguel Beer at saka si Jollibee. They have to be direct competitors. So talagang naglalaban sila sa industriya. Okay, so going back now, guys, to our marami-rami itong ratios natin, no? Okay, first current ratio. Let's go first to liquidity. This is the capability of the firm to pay its current obligations as they fall due, as they become due. And then na-notice nyo rin guys, nalinagay ko na yung formula dito. The formula is already here for your reference para hindi na kayo mahirapan. So our current ratio for 2018 was, okay, so siguro ang gagawin ko, okay, no? Para mas mabilis guys, I'm going to hide ko na lang to, no? Hide ko siya, okay? So that mas madali ko ma-access yung mga values. So current assets, dito yung current assets natin, divided by current liabilities. Yan. Okay. Control Enter. Okay, so once you get the formula guys, just copy to the right kasi pareho lang naman yung placement nila. Okay? And then dito, naroon na rin ako linagay dito guys na if you recall guys, ano to? Ito yung spark line natin. Okay, you can change the format here. Okay? All right. So what has happened guys? Yung current ratio natin. Okay, current ratio guys is a company's ability to pay its current obligations as they fall due. So nakikita natin, we can change this in design if you want by line. Okay, and then yan. Pwede rin line natin. Notice natin guys, yung current ratio natin, mababa talaga siya noong 2019, 1.5 lang. So what does that mean guys? What does this mean yung 2.3? Technically guys, ano ibig sabihin yan? Just the arithmetic of it, ang ibig sabihin nito, kasi 2.3 siya, no? 2.3 ito. Ang denominator niyan, what's the denominator of 2.3, guys? Ano denominator niyan? Okay, it's okay. All right, thank you. Sige. Thank you, Kyla. No? Sige. Thank you for the information. Okay, so ano yung denominator nito? What's the denominator, guys? 2.3. The denominator is 2.3 over, di ba 1, guys? Di ba? 1 ang ano niyan. 1 ang denominator. Kasi quick current ratio natin 2.3. So ang denominator niyan 2.3 over 1. So therefore guys, ano ibig sabihin niyan? For every 1 peso of current liability yung kailangang bayaran ng company, there is a corresponding 2.3 current assets to pay this obligation. Okay? So ano ibig sabihin? Ano ba? Covered ba yung company para bayaran yung current liability? Yes. Okay. Yes. So ibig sabihin 2.3 na current assets ang available para bayaran yung current liability na 1 peso. Okay? So is that good or bad? Well, generally okay siya, guys. Kasi ibig sabihin nun, meron tayong current assets na 2.3 para bayaran yung current liability na piso. Okay, but if we dig deeper, guys, dapat titingnan natin yung quality ng current assets. Okay? Kasi paano kung titingnan natin, guys, yung current assets natin, this is our current assets. It will depend, guys, on the on the nature of our current assets. Dito ang cash natin 9,000 lang, tapos karamihan ng current assets natin nakatali sa inventories. Okay? So kunyari pag mag-June na ngayon yung utang, kunyari ang utang 481,600. If you take a look at this, no? Mag-June na ngayon to, kailangan bayaran. Ang cash lang natin, guys, 9,000. So it's really not sufficient. Okay? Meron tayo ditong 351 na kung makolekta natin, well, kulang pa rin tayo. So itong tatlong to, is 47, kulang pa rin, no? Kulang pa rin. So masasabi natin, guys, na technically, guys, hindi sufficient yung yung current assets ng company kasi nakatali pa sa inventories. Okay? Nakatali pa sa inventories. Clear ba yun, guys? Clear ba? Ulitin ko although sinasabi natin ang total current assets 1124, tapos ang total liability natin 481,600, mukhang okay tayo, no? Kasi 2.3 yung ano natin, current ratio. However, guys, if we take a look at the composition of our current assets, ang pinaka, syempre, ito cash na to, no? 9,000. Kung babayaran na natin yung current liabilities natin, syempre hindi kakasya. Kahit isama natin si short-term investment, kahit isama natin si AR, 351,200. Pag i-total natin to, okay, so that's around 400 something lang, hindi pa aabot dun sa 481. Okay, so always dig deeper, no? 2.3. Theoretically, sabi natin na for every 1 peso of current assets, meron tayong, for every 1 peso of current liability, meron tayong 2.3 current assets. Is that good or bad? Theoretically, guys, sufficient yung current assets natin. However, may however tayo, no? However, we have to look at the nature of the quality of the current assets. That's why we have this other ratio, yung quick ratio. Okay? So what's quick ratio? Notice, guys, hindi na yung buong current assets. Ang kasama sa numerator natin yung cash, yung marketable securities, at saka yung receivables. Cash, marketable securities, at saka receivables. Which means, guys, that ano, guys? Anong tinanggal natin sa current assets natin? What was removed in the current assets? Anong difference ng current ratio sa quick ratio? Anyone? What's the difference between your current ratio and your quick ratio? Hello, guys. Anong difference ng current ratio sa quick ratio? Hello? Any answer, guys? Anong difference ng current ratio sa quick ratio? Take a look at the formula. Saan sila nagkakaiba? Sa denominator, pareho lang naman silang current liability. So where do they differ? Anyone? Okay. Thank you, Aaron. What about the numerator? Ano sa numerator ang kaibahan nila? Aaron, you can unmute yourself kung pwede. Okay, so what's the difference? Aaron, is it okay for you to unmute yourself?
Hello, sir.
Yes, oo. Okay, kindly explain. You're correct, no? Tama yung ano natin, tama yung answer mo.
I just checked the formula lang po.
Okay. So ano yung hindi natin sinama sa quick ratio? Ano yung hindi natin sinama? Tingnan mo yung ano natin, yung balance sheet natin sa current assets. Ano yung hindi sinama diyan? Kasi based sa formula mo, take a look at the formula and then kindly tell the class kung ano yung hindi nasama dun sa quick ratio. Short term Ano dun eh, yung marketable securities, yung MS, yung short-term investment kasama. So ano, class? Andyan guys, andyan yung formula. No? So makikita natin, ano yung hindi natin sinama. Pag quick ratio ang mini-measure natin, which of the current assets is not included. Hello? Ito guys yung formula, quick ratio. Ano yung CS? What's CS guys? Waiting for your answers guys. Okay, cash, tapos, ano pa? Guys, andito na yung formula. Titingnan nyo na lang, compare nyo lang dun sa taas. So that should be no problem. So, guys, ang current ratio natin, sa current ratio, we include all the current assets. Di ba kanina sinabi ko, you have to take a look at the quality of your current assets. Okay, kasi di ba, if you recall, lima yung components ng current assets: cash, short-term investments or marketable securities, receivables, inventories, and prepayments. Kapag may prepayments, kasama yun sa current assets. Ginagamit din natin yun to measure your current ratio. Ang quick ratio, guys, ang sinasama lang, yung mga tatlong pinaka-liquid na assets. Si cash, short-term investments, at saka si receivables. Hindi sinasama si inventories. Okay, so that's your quick ratio. And another name for your quick ratio is your acid test ratio. Guys, tinan nyo naman yung formula, please. No? Andiyan naman eh. No? Okay, yung current assets natin, cash, marketable securities, receivables, inventories, at saka yung prepayments. Wala naman tayong prepayments yung sa balance sheet natin. So, ang quick ratio yung tatlo lang, yung first three na pinaka-liquid na assets, cash, short-term investments, at saka receivables. Yun ang quick ratio natin. Another name for this is, there's another name for your quick ratio, and that's your acid test ratio. Others call this acid test. Acid test ratio, okay? So how do we compute for this? Yung acid test ratio natin is simply the sum of your three most liquid assets: cash, short-term investments, and receivables. Yung tatlo lang yon, no? Hindi natin sinasama si inventories, hindi natin sinasama si prepayments. So mas strict na measure to. Okay, so divided by your current liabilities. Our current liabilities is this one. Okay. So tingnan nyo guys, so mas maliit lagi si quick ratio kaysa kay current ratio. Pareho lang sila kung walang inventory at saka walang prepayments. But if there's inventory, if there's prepayment, then your quick ratio will always be lower than your current ratio. Okay. Test. Okay, if you just consider the cash, marketable securities, and the receivables, hindi kaya, no? Hindi sufficient yung yung funds ng firm in order to pay its current obligations. So makikita natin dito yun sa acid test ratio or quick ratio. Okay, so you can see then guys na bumaba yung quick ratio natin noong 2019, naka-recover naman siya ng 2020. Okay, 0.9. Pero still, ano ibig sabihin ng 0.9? Again, you always answer that question in reference to the definition of the ratio. Ang ibig sabihin nito, for every 1 peso of current liability, meron tayong quick current asset na 0.9 to pay our current obligations. Okay. Ito gawin natin not industry guys, kung competitor na lang. Kasi wala naman tayong industry figures. So let's just make it as our competitor. So if we compare guys, yung company natin with the competitor, it turns out that si competitor mas capable of paying its current obligations as they fall due. Kasi 2.6 to, si competitor 2.7. In terms of quick ratio, mas kaya magbayad ni competitor kaysa sa company natin. 0.9 to, ito 1. Okay? So that's how you analyze. You look at it, its progression. Okay, you look at it every year, no? And then its progression over the years. That's benchmarking over time. Sabi natin kanina, benchmark against time and benchmark against a competitor. Okay, so here it appears that our company is less capable of paying its current obligations. Kasi ang current ratio natin 2.6 lang. Si competitor 2.7. Even in quick ratio guys, 0.9 tayo dito, tapos si competitor natin 1. 1:1, no? So ibig sabihin it has just enough cash, just enough securities, marketable securities and receivables in order to pay its current obligations. Okay. Clear guys? Clear? Pause muna ako. Clear ba so far? So we're done with liquidity ratios. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you guys. Pag may questions, please feel free, no? Okay, so once again guys, mas strict yung quick ratio, no? Mas kaya ang tawag sa kanya acid test, no? Acid test. Kasi yung current ratio, sinasama lahat ng current assets. That's why we get a high figure. Ang problem niyan guys, paano lalo na kung slow moving yung inventory. Pag slow moving yung inventory, that could be a problem for the company. Kasi hindi kaagad na generate yung sales pag slow moving yung inventory, matagal mabenta. So paano kung yung obligations, paano yung liabilities due na? Okay, so kung titingnan natin again si company A, yung company of si XYZ company pala. So meron tayong piso na current liability, ang available lang natin na cash, marketable securities at saka receivables, yung pinaka-quickest, pinaka-most liquid asset natin is only 0.8. Noong 2019, mas naging problematic pa tayo kasi naging kalahati na lang, 0.5 na lang, no? Then we were able to recover noong 2020, naging 0.9. So that has been the story over the years from 2018 to 2020, no? And then benchmark against competitor noong 2020, 2020 figures to guys, no? Okay. Noong 2020, si competitor natin, sufficient lang yung yung quick ratio, quick assets, no? Tayo 0.9 lang. So the competitor is performing better than the company as far as the ability to pay current obligations, which can be found in your liquidity ratios. Okay? So hopefully guys, clear yung liquidity ratios. Okay, next, asset management. Ito isa sa pinaka-importante ito. Yung asset management ratio. Yan, marami-rami tayong titinan dito, no? So dito guys, ang tanong, how capable is the management in managing its assets? Gaano siya kagaling sa sa ng assets niya, sa pag-manage ng assets. So that forms part of asset management. Okay? So there are some very important measures here. Unang-una, inventory turnover. Pag sinabing inventory turnover, it tells us how many times a year is the company able to buy raw materials, produce the finished product, and then sell. Yung cycle na yon, no? Gano'n niya kabilis sa isang taon nagagawa yon. Bili ng raw materials, kunyari manufacturing tayo, convert into finished product, and then sell. Okay, that's what we call the velocity of turning your raw materials into goods and then selling. Kung gaano kabilis. Okay, so the higher the inventory turnover, the better. Ibig sabihin, ilang beses, many times a year ka nakakapag-produce ng goods and then sell. Produce ng goods, sell. Produce ng goods, sell. Okay. For example, itong 6.1 na to ng competitor, ano ibig sabihin niyan? Sa isang taon, so illustrate natin dito, no? In 1 year, okay, mag-timeline lang tayo for this to be clear. So for example, January 1 hanggang December 31. No? Ito yung one operating period natin. So ang inventory turnover, ITO ni competitor natin is 6.1. Ano ibig sabihin nun? So sa isang taon, buy raw materials, produce into finished goods, sell. Isang cycle yon. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tapos may 0.1 pa dito. So yan ang ibig sabihin guys ng inventory turnover. Okay? Sa isang cycle na to, bili ng raw materials, convert into finished products, and then sell. Bili na naman ng raw materials, convert into finished products, sell. Yan. So on the average, the company is able to turn its inventory 6 times, no? 6.1 times. So which means guys that the bigger the number, the bigger the ITO, the better. Okay? Okay, clear ba yun guys? Paki-chat naman please kung clear kung bakit mas maganda kung the bigger the ITO, the better. Okay, paki-feedback please kung clear yung ibig sabihin ng ITO, inventory turnover. So again guys, inventory turnover hanggang pagbenta ha, hanggang pagbenta. Okay? I'm still waiting for the others to give the response. Okay, thank you. Thank you guys. All right. So let's compute now for the ITO of our company, no? So it's your cost of goods sold, okay, divided by the average inventory. Okay, take note guys, cost of goods sold is a value that we obtain for the whole period, no? Okay, so si average inventory, so dapat guys, yung denominator natin, yung average inventory, dapat for one whole period din. So we just don't use one inventory. Kunyari, inventory lang at the beginning or inventory at the end. So medyo naiiba to guys dun sa ROIC natin, no? Kasi sa ROIC ang ginagamit natin yung beginning. Dito, it's best for us to use average, no? Para makuha natin yung for the whole period then. So let's use one formula, cost of goods sold. So for 2018, asa yung cost of goods sold natin? This is our cost of goods sold, no? Oops, hindi ko nalagay yung equal to, okay? Cost of goods sold, okay? Then divided by average inventory daw, okay? So divided by the average ng beginning at saka ending inventory. Okay, so si 2018 wala tayong beginning, no? But we can still use that formula. So beginning inventory, this, at saka ending inventory. Yan. Now take note, ang beginning natin, it's a text, no? So kung text yan, babasahin lang ni Excel as nothing. Okay, so ang magiging average niya, ito pa rin. Now what's good about this is that when we copy the formula to the right, mag-move yung kukunin niya yung average ngayon ng 1287 at saka 715. Okay, so just to facilitate the computation. Okay? Alright, so if I check guys, ano ba yung average ng B22, C22? Highlight ko to guys highlight ko to, tapos check natin, no? Ayan, 715,200. Tama nga, no? Tama nga na yun ang average kasi, okay, kasi guys, wala naman Kasi ang inventory natin, wala naman guys value dito eh. No? Okay, so bali dinisregard lang ni Excel to. So ang average niya 715,200. Okay. Okay. Now, alam niyo ba guys, kunyari sa isang formula sa Excel, gusto niyo ma-check kung ano yung value nito? Alam niyo ba kung paano ko ginawa yan? Guys. Ba't ko napalabas yung answer dito para to check kung okay ba yung value na yan, no? Okay, sige, mamaya ko na sasabihin ha. Control Enter. So 4. If I copy to the right, guys. Okay. Copy to the right. Kikita natin dito na average of C22, D22. No? So average of C22, D22, yun. No? So that would turn out to be mga 500,000 divided by mga 900,000 yan or mga 1 million. No? If I check kung ano yung ano nito, kung ano yung value nito, yan, mga 1 million. No? Okay? Control Enter. All right. Okay, so we can see now that yung galaw ng average ng ITO natin, no? Yung galaw ng ITO natin for noong 2018 bumaba at tumaas tayo. Noong 2019 okay, bumilis no yung inventory turnover natin. Noong 2020 bumaba. Okay? Halos 4 times lang. Samantala yung competitor natin 6.1. So how can you compete with that? Same industry kayo, same product. Si competitor nyo 6 times a year ginagagawa yon. Buy raw materials, convert into finished product, sell. Tapos sell na naman sila, tapos sell na naman, 6.1 times. While the company is just having 3.9 times. Okay? So napaka-importante nan guys for decision making, for a managerial analysis, no? Decision making. Bakit? Hindi mo lang tayo umaabot ng 4 times natin na bumibili ng raw materials, convert into finished product, and then sell. Bakit yung competitor natin, 6.1 times, tayo 3.9 times lang. Houston, we have a problem, no? Patay. Kasi that means that we're just selling around 4 times per year. Wala. Talon-talo tayo niyan, no? Si competitor natin 6.1 times. So that means aaralin natin ano ba yung nagpapatagal? Is it our production process? Okay? Is it yung bilis natin kung paano makabenta? O is it the quality of the product? Kaya hindi masyadong mabilis yung benta kasi Kasi yung quality natin palpak, no? So these questions raises a lot of these values raises a lot of questions. Kung manager kayo guys, kung CFO kayo diyan, magtatanong na kayo, no? Magtatanong kayo bakit ganyan? 4 tapos 5 tapos bumaba pa noong 2019, 2020. So you take a look at it, 4 noong 2018, tapos naging 5. Okay, good, tumaas. Pero bumagsak tayo noong 2020. And what's worse, guys, compare natin with the benchmark with the competitor, where the competitor is leaving us to eat the dust. No? Di ba? Okay, pause muna ako, guys. Clear ba yung yon? Clear yung kung saan natin ina-analyze, no? So ito inventory turnover, guys, it tells us a lot about how the company is able to manage its assets, no? Okay. Clear so far? Paki-check nga, please. Sana may mag-chat din iba, guys. Okay, thank you. Thank you. No? So very important, guys, yung inventory turnover. Okay, guys, ganito, no? Kasi mukhang hindi natin talaga matatapos to, no? Is it okay, guys, na i-move na lang natin yung quiz natin? Not on Monday, but let's move it to Wednesday. Is it okay, guys? Kasi ayoko magbigay ng quiz na hindi natin natatapos to, na nakapending pa. What's the pleasure of the class? Or kung gusto nyo, kung ano man matapos natin, yun lang yung coverage ng quiz natin. Pero parang nakakabitin kung ano. Would it be okay, guys, kung let's move our quiz to Wednesday na lang? What's the pleasure of the class? Okay. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, salamat ha. So let's move it to Wednesday na Kasi ayokong magbigay ng quiz guys na hindi natin natapos yung module 2. Okay, but in the meantime guys, may I request you to please, kung pwede guys, andito naman yung formula para mas mabilis yung discussion natin, kung pwede. Paki-solve na lang, no? Paki-solve nito para next meeting mas mabilis yung ano natin, yung discussion, no? Okay? Kasi kung hindi niyo pa titingnan to tapos baka hindi natin matapos din next Monday to. So if possible guys, kindly I'm going to give it an assignment pero hindi ko naman siya i-collect. So please, I hope you be responsible to compute for the other ratios. Para siguro ang gagawin natin, no? Ano na lang din, no? Ang ipapakita ko na lang din yung computation. Tapos kung may questions kayo kung magkaiba yung figures natin, ganun na lang. Tapos i-analyze na lang natin yung implication ng ratio. Kasi andito na naman guys yung andito na yung formulas, no? I deliberately did that in order for you to just compute on your own and then compare tayo on Monday. Okay, that way guys, we're able to save on time. That way we're able to be efficient in our asset, no? In the management of our asset, which is time. Okay? So I hope that's clear guys. Next meeting, okay, I'm going to flash. May mga answers na dito. Tapos if you have questions kung bakit magkaiba yung answers natin, then yun na lang, no? And then i-discuss natin yung implication. Okay, so aside from inventory turnover, meron din tayong ARTO, no? Accounts receivable turnover. Yung ARTO naman guys, ang ibig sabihin niyan, gaano kabilis nakokolekta yung receivables. Okay? So from the time na nabenta yung goods, no? Nabenta, okay, let's say nabenta on account siya and then na-collect. Ilang times sa isang taon guys na nagagawa ng company yon. So the faster, the bigger guys, ibig sabihin mas maganda. Kung mataas yung R2, ibig sabihin ilang beses sa isang taon, ang bilis. Collect, from sell, collect. Ganun guys, yun yung R2. So how do you compute for the R2? It's your sales divided by your average AR. So ganun din guys. So let's take a look at sales divided by the average of your AR. So pwede natin gamitin guys para isang formula, average nito. No? Okay. Again guys, although text to, it will be read by Excel as nothing. So ang magiging average niya, itong 351,200 lang. So wala siyang i-average, but just this 351,200. Okay, so control enter. Ay, sorry, mali. Naka-sales sa 2018 ako, no? So let me replace this by C5. C5. C5 ba? Okay, correct. C5. Okay, control enter. Okay. Copy to the right. Okay. All right. So makikita natin guys that over time nag-improve ng 2019 yung accounts receivable turnover natin 11.9 times a year, but it then went down to 2020 bumaba siya na 9.3. And then whereas yung 2019 2020 lang kasi to, no? So we cannot compare 10.2 at saka 11.9. Kung meron tayong 2019 figure din, mako-compare natin with the XYZ with the competitor. Okay, so take note, 2020 figures to yung binigay dito, no? So mako-compare lang natin yung 10.2 at saka 9.3. Okay? Kung may 2019 tayo na figure ng competitor, then mako-compare natin yung 2019 ng company natin at saka 2019 ng competitor. So we still lag behind the competitor as far as the number of times we're able to collect. Yung velocity ng pagko-collect ng receivables, no? Okay. Next, target natin sana hanggang cash conversion cycle mo. O kaya sana matapos natin itong AM. No? Okay, up to guys, up to. How many times a year, guys, nakakapagbayad tayo? No? Bumili tayo sa supplier and then bayad. Bumili, bayad, bumili, bayad, bumili, bayad. No? Okay, so the formula is, it's cost of goods sold, or kung may purchases, okay, kung may purchases account, then we should use purchases. Kung wala, then we can use cost of goods sold over average accounts payable. So that's cost of goods sold divided by the average, again, average accounts payable. Okay, so this one. Average accounts payable, control enter. Okay. All right, ito. 19.7 times, no? 21.2, 17 as compared to 15.1. Okay, ano ibig sabihin nito, guys? Mas maganda ba? Mas maganda ba yung ano ni competitor o tayo? Okay, sa up to, guys, opposite yan. Kasi ito, ibig sabihin, sa 15.1 times a year lang nagbabayad si competitor. Tayo 21.2 times lang. Ang implication niyan, guys, mas konti lang yung ano natin, mas konti lang yung terms natin. Mas konti lang yung number of days natin na terms with the supplier. Okay, kasi mas mabilis tayo magbayad eh. Okay? Tapos ang problema natin nito, mabilis tayo magbayad, mabagal tayo mag-collect, no? 11.9 times lang. Ito 21.2 times a year. So ibig sabihin ko isang taon 21 times tayo bayad ng bayad. Ibig sabihin ang bilis natin magbayad. Ang bagal natin mag-collect. 'Yun ang problema natin dito. Tingnan niyo tong ano, guys, competitor, no? Although ganun din siya, no? Pero mas di hamak, guys, na mas malaki yung ano natin, no? Mas malaki yung AP turnover kaysa AR turnover. Okay. We now go to this one, guys. I-convert natin to kasi there are two ways to look at this. Yung inventory turnover, pwede natin siya i-convert into days inventory outstanding. Okay? Yung 4 times a year na to, ilang araw yan sa ano? Ilang araw yan sa ano sa isang taon, no? So let me illustrate that. Okay? So another way to look at your inventory turnover. Okay, ilan yung inventory turnover natin, yung company natin for 2020? Let's take a look at 2020. Inventory turnover is 3.9 times, no? So 3.9 times lang ang ano? 1, 2, 3, so mga yan, 3.9 times, no? So ITO natin is 3.9 times. Okay. Compare that with your competitor, with our competitor, they're able to sell 6.1 times. So luging-lugi tayo, no? Talon-talo si company natin. Another way to look at this is DIO. Okay? Ano yung days inventory outstanding? Related yan sa ITO, no? So let's take a look at that. So DIO is, okay, how do we compute for this? Is operating days divided by the ITO, or operating days times average inventory over cost of goods sold. Take note, guys, itong average inventory over cost of goods sold, this is the reverse of your ITO. Kung may ITO na tayo, ang gagawin lang natin, yung number of days divided by natin ang ITO. Okay, so sinabi dito ang operating days natin is 365. No? Okay, lagyan natin ng pangalan tong ano, yung 365. Lagyan ko lang ng pangalan ng days. No? Operating days. Para magamit natin yan sa lahat. Days. No? Alright, so ang DIO natin is equal to days. Yan, days, no? That's 365 divided by ITO natin. Yan, ITO. Control Enter. There. Okay, what does this mean, guys? This is related to your ITO. So yung 3.9 times a year, it's equivalent to 95 days. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Balik tayo dito. Okay, ibig sabihin nun, it takes the company 95 days. 95 days to purchase raw materials, convert into finished product, and then sell. So 95 days to. 95 days. 95 days. And then another This is 0.9 times 95 days. Okay, kasi 3.9 tayo. Okay, so 95 days. Bili ng raw materials, produce, benta. On the average, 95 days. Repeat yung process, 95 days. Repeat yung process, 95 days. Okay, guys? So yung 3.9 inventory turnover, it is equivalent to saying that it takes the company 95 days to buy raw materials, produce the goods, and then sell. Okay? 3.9 times a year lang nila nagagawa yon. So kung titingnan nyo, 95, this is already around 300 days, no? Plus ito pa, so kasi 365 days a year yung ginagamit natin. So all in all, mga 365 days a year to. So ilang beses nila nagagawa yan, yung buy raw materials, convert into finished product, sell, 3.9 times a year, equivalent to 95 days. Okay? All right? So ito naman guys, ito, yung day sales outstanding. Ano naman to? Pagkabenta, ilang araw muna bago makolekta, no? Ilang araw muna makolekta. So that's operating days divided by R2. Okay, so i-convert natin yung na frequency per year, ilang beses isang taon, noong 2020, 9.3 times nakokolekta yung goods, no? Yung cash. So this is equal to, okay, day sales outstanding is, okay, day sales outstanding or average collection period is your operating days divided by your R2, which is this one. Okay? So 39 days. Ano ibig sabihin ng 39 days? It takes the company on the average 39 days to collect on the receivables. Ilang araw na kokolekta ng competitor? 15 days na kokolekta na nila. Tayo 39 days. Okay? 60 days ng competitor, guys. Raw materials, convert into finished goods, and then sell. In 60 days, nagagawa na nila yan. Tayo 95 days. Okay? So, really, something's really, let's say, wrong with how we do things as compared to the competitor. Ito guys, day sales outstanding, ilang days natin nakokolekta yung, ilang days tayo nagbabayad. Okay? So, that's offer days divided by your APTO. Yan. Okay. Dito pa lang guys, nakikita na natin eh. Kailan natin makukuha yung receivables natin? 37 days. Kailan tayo magbabayad? 19 days. Hala, di ba? Na mauuna yung kailangan magbayad na muna tayo bago natin makukolect na receivables natin. That's the problem here. Tingnan nyo guys ha. So we converted this into days. No? 39 days for us on the average to collect our receivables. 22 days for us on the average to pay our obligations. Okay? All right. And then I'll end here, guys. Okay. Ano yung operating cycle natin? It's our DIO. Okay. DIO plus DSO. 128 days. Okay. And our cash conversion cycle is our operating cycle less days payable outstanding. Right? Okay. Okay, guys, I'll stop here. Okay. I'll stop here and then we'll discuss the implication of this. Okay. Kasi may problema tayo dito, guys. Tapos i-explain natin kung ano tong, bakit ito negative 15, ano tong cash conversion cycle na to. Okay. It's already time, guys. I'll just end in this, no? Ang cash conversion cycle natin, guys, okay, this is a very important measure. Okay? Ang operating cycle, this is a very important measure. Okay? Itong operating cycle natin, guys, DIO plus DSO, this is the number of days it takes us to buy raw materials, convert into finished products, sell, and then collect. Yun, yung buong yun, guys. No? Yung buong yun. So tayo, 128 days. Buy raw materials, convert into finished products, sell, and then collect. Noong 2020, 134 days yun, guys. 134 days bago, again, buy raw materials, convert into finished product, sell, collect. 134 days. Ang kalaban natin, 75 days. Nabenta na nila, na-collect na natin. Eh tayo 134 days pa, oh. Oh, paano tayo makakapag-compete sa ganyang company, di ba? That's the problem. This is, let's say, this is a poor asset management ng company. And then we were able to look at it, guys, just using this, yung ITO natin, ARTO, APTO, at saka yung days inventory, days sales outstanding, days payable outstanding. So next meeting, guys, tingnan natin to, no? Okay, so ang request ko, please, guys, please, para talaga matapos to natin next meeting, kasi we cannot afford anymore to postpone our quiz. Kindly answer this, guys, please. Paki-answer na lang. Pati itong itong DuPont, pati itong Altman Z, kung pwedeng magbasa-basa kayo about what Altman Z is all about, no? And then we will have to finish this on Monday. Okay? With that, guys, maraming salamat. Again, thank you so much for your patience. I hope you learned something today. Okay? So I'll stop recording now.